afternoon. How's everyone doing out there today? Dr. Eve here. I know it's been a few days, but I am coming on a little lesser so that I can get things done and have, good things to report on to my community. I am Dr. Eve. If you have not met me, and here on my channel, we talk about all things living well as a lifestyle. And that's from the garden to the table, from the farm to the table to the spiritual being, our financial well being, and all the things that help us to live a very, very healthy lifestyle. And so I'm super excited today. We're going to be talking about, some grapevines that I put in, some new ones, and how easy that was. I just want to give you guys some tips on some things that I did and an arbor that I'm building for my grapevine so that I can, put it up nice and neatly and allow it space for it to really, really grow. To whatever depths I want it to grow through. So, and I'm going to be showing you about also some seeds that we're going to be harvesting today because we have to make sure that we get all of our good seeds, right? The garden is kind of covered up today because I spent the day yesterday making sure that my garden was covered because I don't want to lose my beautiful vegetables, my even my mobile garden. It's covered, baby. It's covered because of why? Because we need to make sure that the food that we in this time are growing, because I have such very strong leafy green vegetables, I want them to continue to grow. And not just that, but I also have seedlings growing in these bags as well. So what I mean by that is I planted seeds a while back, and they are also in these bags with these growing and produce the ones that are producing. And so I don't want them to get harmed by the weather because they are still so young. See, in most of the bags I have, some additional plants that are growing, what we call succession planting, so that we keep vegetables growing at all times. So yeah, so again, the vegetables are growing nicely, but we have covered them. We're beginning to get ready for whatever snow comes our way. um, so yeah, out here everything is growing and quiet and covered. I also on yesterday tidied up some bags, some new bags, put in some fertilizer into these bags to get them ready for the spring so that we will have nice bags to plant in come the spring. Oh, and got a beautiful water hose, y'all. This thing cost me $100, but baby, it was worth every bit. It's nice and soft, it's flexible, it doesn't hurt, I can move it around. It's 100 feet, it gets all over this garden. And here goes some more planting. Whatever you do, you must prepare. Spring is coming, so you must prepare for the spring. Make sure that you have bags, and if you don't, if you can't grow in the dirt, you can grow in bags. And so that is one of the ways that I grow. I grow in bags, I grow in the ground, I grow in pots, I grow in hanging pots, I grow across vines, I grow in beds. It don't matter. I just grow, and grow. So as we have been preparing, but I want you to take a walk with me over here because I want to show you how I easily was able to put in some new um, grapevines. I had purchased some grapevines back, I would say, early fall, because I've been trying to put in a substantial amount of fruit, because fruit is something that you can have one, but one is not going to give you much. And my goal is to be self-sufficient. And in order to be self-sufficient, you have to have enough that's going to produce, enough fruit to produce what you want. And so I had purchased these grapevines, and I want to show you. I was like, procrastinating on putting them in the ground, but y'all, it was so easy to do. I did it in 5 minutes. So for most of you know that I covered most of my ground because I'm 63 years old in a few months. I mean, not just a few months, but a few days. And so I covered my ground because I don't want to have to deal with weeds, right? I don't have to. I don't have to, be troubled with that. I don't want to. I want to be able to garden, relax, love, have a good time, and not have to go through substantial weeding processes, And I'm not finished because some more about back there. I'm going to be covering some more back there so that we can garden with ease, because at 60 something we want to garden with ease. And so if this is you, hang around, because I'm gardening with ease over here. Okay, look at all them beautiful vegetables popping out that bag. But let me get back over here and talk to y'all about these grapevines, because that's what we are here for. Oh, so that fell down. Why so, I wonder. Hmm. So let me show you what I've done. I might need to put some more concrete in it. If that one fell over, that means that it might be too light. But let me stand it back up, because I'm going to be telling you all about what I'm doing with this new arbor, mobile arbor, because this is a mobile arbor. Y'all know I believe in, it's got to be able to be moved. I got to be able to move it in case I want to redesign, right? So we'll talk about those in just a minute. But let's get back over here and talk about these grapevines. So remember I told you I had purchased some grapevines. These are the grapevines. And I was like, okay, digging through this cloth is going to be hard. But actually, I didn't have to do that. Let me show you what I did. I literally put the pot down. Look at how beautiful this is. I literally put the pot down and cut around the pot. And because the cloth is the cloth made the soil hold water. So it was very soft. So I literally cut into the ground, scooped out the dirt, and set the pot down in there. But there's no bottom to this pot. And I put it this way so that I can give this plant nutrients. It'll go directly into this pot. When I get ready to put some magnesium in here so that the vine stays healthy, because it will suffer. I noticed that sometimes the grapevines will suffer black rot, and so I'm trying to make sure that they don't struggle with that and give them the proper nutrients. So I was able to get all 5 of my grapevines in the ground. Next up was am I going to maintain these vines while they're spreading from such a distance? So this is the distance at which these grapevines will spread. So they're going a pretty good, I want to say a good 20 feet. And my goal is to connect the original vine to my man-made arbor. Now, this man-made arbor, my thoughts behind that was I need to build an arbor. And I'm going to give you an example of what this is going to look like. I need to build an arbor for my grapevines. And I want it to go all the way across. I wanted it to go all the way across the yard, right? So that was the goal. I wanted to go all the way across. I want to let the original grapevine grow from here and grow all the way across. And as the new little grapevines grow up, they will have a place to connect, right? So I'm just thinking out of the box, right? Listen, I don't know how to build anything. I just build it, right? I don't know how. I wasn't trained. My daddy's a builder. And so I just do it, right? And dream it, think about it, dream it, make it happen, right? So the goal, after thinking about it, is to build an arbor that would allow my grapes to grow up, right? And so when I think about it, this is the dream, okay? This is the dream. Let me show you what it's going to look like. So the dream is that the arbor is going to look like that. It's going to be built all the way across so that my grapevines can have a place to grow. And my goal is to start putting in these little hooks right here, so that I can wind my grapevine. So, how did I make these posts? These are mobile. Like I said, I wanted a mobile. I wanted it mobile because I don't want to attach it to the fence. The fence is staked in the ground, so that's cool. But I can put other things along this because it can serve as a nice trellis for maybe even cucumbers or squash. Perhaps squash on this side, won't be dealing with all the pests, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But what I did was I took some of my big pots and some of my old lumber and I staked it in there and I concreted the lumber into the pot. So this is movable. So when I want to move this, if I decide that don't want that there anymore and might want to run the grapevine down that way, I don't know. But for now, I got these pots and it's going to run all the way across to the porch so that as my grapevines are growing, because there's another grapevine that's growing actually on the other side of that porch over there, but I always keep it from growing because it grows really wild. But what if I had a stake over there that could begin where they can both begin to meet each other, right? Sounds like a good plan. It is a really good plan. So I have thought about this thing because I wanted to give the banana the free reign to just grow and not have to cover this because it is very tall. It's protected and it's gonna probably grow really, really fast in the spring. So this is the banana. I didn't cut it. I did only cut it back to its height, and then I put some wrap around it to seal in the heat from the cold, right, all the way down to the base, and I put covered the base so that it could stay warm and wouldn't get affected so much by the cold. So, but as you can see, over the last few days, the weather has been really strange. So the bananas already started to growing like right out of this plastic. So that's what I mean by it's gonna grow really fast. Even with cold days, this banana it was already about 15 feet tall. It's going to be even more than that. And what happens is the banana gets more babies. So I'm just going to leave this area specific for the bananas. I'm probably going to remove this tent that I had here. It's down in the ground. Probably gonna remove it and put it somewhere else in the garden, and let this be an area where this banana grows, and put copper in it in the dirt. Um, put copper in the grapevines in the soil for the grapevines. Oh, helps plants grow. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been even pennies, like even like my pennies. I know that brings protection to the plants too. Like it creates a field energy force around the plants. Correct? I believe that's what it does. So anyway, we put a couple of them in the ground over here. The mobile concrete post that I'm making. Again, I'm building an arbor. If you can see the vision, if you can see the vision, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Because this is a great way to grow upwards as well. I can put more concrete in here if I want to keep it from moving, but right now it's still hardening. But this one was turned over when I came out, so I'm suspicious that it will turn over. So I'm probably gonna have to put a little bit more concrete in it. But I'm just gonna put a slat of wood and nail it over top, which will probably also help to make it stationary as well. So I will put these plats, these over top, meeting halfway so that I can leave room for it to connect to this other one over here so that we can connect the grapevine. So we can start. I did do something. I started doing a double twist of the grapevine because it's really long. So I took it down, but it's really long and it already stretches out. Look, it stretches out already, meeting this one over here. So it's already very, very long. So when it starts to grow in the spring, I know it's going to shoot out and it's going to shoot out all kinds of branches. So, so the goal is to get it ready for the spring. That's my goal right now. I'm growing a lot of food. It's a lot of food already out here and growing, so I don't need to really worry about that. Right now, the goal is just to make sure that I prepare, for an easy spring, that things come in the way that I want them to, so that there's not a whole lot of complications. So like even this grapevine here. So there's two grapevines that I had originally. These were the two grapevines here. This one and the one here, and they're both, of course, in the ground. So they were the first two that I had. This is a red seedless grape. I don't know what that one is, but they're all red because they were beautiful this year. I got a lot of grapes this year, which means it's probably going to be even more abundant next year. So, with that said, I knew that I had to create a beautiful space for them to grow. So, I'm going to be putting in, like I said, I'm going to be putting in these little these little pieces right here so that I can connect the grapevine. Let's see how it works. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I probably can't sit y'all down because I don't have a stand, but the goal is to go ahead and get, let me go around to the other side, because another reason why I wanted to build the arbor is I can't get through here. So I have to be able to get through here. You have to have spaces when you're growing. You always have to think about your spaces. This grapevine, if I just let it go over here, I would not be able to walk under it. So by building this arbor that will connect to this one, is going to give me the arch that I need to be able to move into this space, because there's also two grapevines right here. So there's two additionals here. So in all, I have two, four that this didn't bloom last year, but these did over here. These muscadines. The muscadines are over here, and they are growing. They grew fast. They grew everywhere. So we're gonna have to build something back here for them too, probably, because this is the other one. So that's five. So we got one, two, three. These are muscadines. These are red grape. Four, five. Then two over here, six, seven. I think they're green. And then five more, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 grapevines all together. And that's a lot of grapes, right? But that's what you want to have. You want to have an abundance, so that you're able to. I need to go ahead and nail that in so I can get this up there. You want to have an abundance so that you have plenty, right? Grapes are, it's a good food. You can make jam, you can eat it right off the vine, and the goal is to eat whole food. I am so grateful that the Department of Health and Human Services has now changed the food guide pyramid, because it was poorly structured, and we know that we need to eat whole foods versus all that juice, all the heavy calories, all the red dyes, the things that are in those foods are not necessarily good for us. But how were we to know except science revealed those things, right? So that's important. So that's it. We covered now the five grapevines. We covered the arbor and the purpose for the arbor. Let me take you over here to. I wanted to show you my seed. Some things I'm going to be doing seed collection today, because I need to get these before the snow gets to them. I had a bunch of marigolds, beautiful, beautiful bed of marigolds. Marigolds were everywhere in my yard because they keep the pests. They attract, or they'll keep the pests away, one or the other. They keep them away, but then they are attractive to some things too. But I kept them, and so now today I'm gonna come through here and get all the seeds. I pulled them up, but I didn't throw them away. So my goal today is to get all these seeds off of these plants, so they don't get, you know, so that the snow doesn't get them. So we know the snow is coming. When you know the snow is coming, you have to prepare. And all this back here, I've literally just covered. I cut down my lemongrass and just laid the grass onto the soil just to give back nutrients and cover it up. You should be covering your soil up during this time of year. This is the orchard. It is very quiet right now. I put in four actually new blackberries along here, but I've also covered them up. As you can see, you want to cover the soil and you want to leave room to feed them as well, because even though it's winter time, you still have to give them nutrients so that when they do grow in the winter, I mean in the spring, that they will be nice and healthy. So sorry for that, y'all. I hit the wrong button. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. It is about 45 degrees out here. I don't know how much more time I have out here because it gets dark really quick. So I'm going to be working on that today, and I will keep you all posted on what's happening here on the homestead. And remember, don't let anyone get in the way. Not today, not tomorrow. Time is not negotiable. Living well is a lifestyle that you create for yourself. So be about your Father's business. Make it happen for you and your family. Let's grow food, not grass, all the things. Get out, have more fun, tap into your gifts and that God gave you and your talents, and multiply, make, manage, and multiply as He has called us to do in the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Bye for now.